Police and administrators take action after threats to a Northwest Indiana high school, and the actions of some local Grinches threaten to steal some of the joy from the holiday season. That's all coming up next on Lakeshore Report. Hello, I'm Kristen Estes, and this is Lakeshore Report. On the same day that the entire Los Angeles school system was closed due to an unspecified threat, Lowell High School found itself in a similar situation. On Tuesday, school administrators put the entire campus on lockdown after police reported that a student had made some verbal threats. Lowell police officers were stationed at all school entrances until the student was identified. Superintendent Dr. Deborah Howe credits the Lowell Police Department, students, staff, and community members for the way they responded on Tuesday. She said that while the decision was made to put the school on temporary lockdown, students were secure at all times. The superintendent noted that each threat situation is different and requires an appropriate response to ensure the safety of the entire campus. Once the lockdown was lifted, Lowell High School students were able to resume their normal school day. Last month, we told you the story of a Valparaiso naval veteran who lost his home in a fire. Pat Doherty, his wife and son are okay, but they lost everything. They did not have insurance, and now they're rebuilding with the help of lots of family and friends. The Doherty home was destroyed by flames back in late October. Immediately, the community rallied to pitch in and help rebuild. Thanks to donations, they're finishing the roof and working on framing the rooms and starting on the electrical work. The front of the house is much different than it was when Lakeshore Report first met the Dohertys. Repairs on the back of the house are also moving along. While there's still lots of work to be done, Pat and his family are grateful for all the help they've received.
Well, we're doing well, day by day. My son Liam's he's going through school, same routine. We're trying to keep him on the straight and narrow, keep his routine going, and I'm going to work every day, and one is taking care of the house.
If you would like to help the Dohertys, you can go to any Sent Here bank and ask for the Patrick Doherty benefit. You can also go to www.facebook.com/Doherty Family Benefit. 125 students at the Watson Academy for Boys got an unexpected gift to help keep them warm this winter. The Institute for Leadership and Performance Improvement, Ivy Tech Community College, Sodexo Magic, and Burlington Coat Factory partnered to provide much-needed coats. It means the students can now focus on school without the distractions that come from just trying to keep warm.
Thank you.
I'm a board member for the Institute of Leadership and Performance Improvement. We can't assume that everyone can afford a nice coat or coat appropriate for the weather. And we just wanted to make sure that that was one less thing that the parents had to concern themselves with, and then make sure that the children were able to at least have a good coat to get them through the winter time.
So I contacted different store managers and corporate offices as well, and let them know that we had a need that we were trying to provide for the Watson Boys Schools, and it's like 126 coats that we needed, and to see if they wanted to take part in helping us do that. We did have Burlington Coat Factory was able to partner with us, so every morning when they show up and they're now warm, fed, they can focus on learning and getting the lessons that they need for the school year that day.
I'm just very grateful. My heart is filled for all of the partners that continue to come to the table and have conversations about our children and the needs, and actually bringing resources and tools as well as dollars to the table.
It means Christmas comes early for us and for our son, and he gets to stay warm throughout this whole winter season through a new coat.
I have 7 children, and so this coat is really a godsend for me.
This is one of the many not-for-profit programs coordinated by the Institute for Leadership and Performance Improvement, which helps support Northwest Indiana students. December has been unseasonably warm so far, but with the official start of winter less than a week away, that is sure to change. The Indiana Department of Transportation is reminding everyone that in ice and snow, drivers need to take it slow. INDOT says that by following a few simple safety tips, Hoosiers can be ready for all that winter has in store. Drivers should check road and weather conditions before traveling and remove all accumulated snow and ice from vehicles. Make sure to inspect wipers, tires, and fluids. Allow plenty of time to reach your destination and give INDOT crews plenty of room to work. All vehicles should be equipped with an emergency kit with scrapers, flashlights, blankets, flares, food, and water. A complete list of emergency kit items and some additional safety tips can be found online at the Indiana Department of Homeland Security. 2015 is shaping up to be one of the biggest years ever for online shopping, which means plenty of packages are being left on area doorsteps. Delivery services like the Post Office, UPS, and FedEx are warning that packages can become the target of thieves. But by taking just a few precautions, you can help make sure your packages don't get intercepted by a holiday Grinch. Consider having packages sent to a friend, neighbor, or business where someone is available during the day to receive them. If you're shipping something of high value or you just want to make sure that a package isn't left unattended, you can require a signature for delivery. Lastly, you can request that drivers knock on a door or ring a bell to make sure that someone is available to accept delivery. In Highland, the local police department is advising residents to keep houses locked and to take in delivered packages as soon as possible. And they say always watch out for suspicious people or activity in your neighborhood. Still to come, Michael Puente talks to a local police chief about the vital role community plays when doing one of the nation's toughest jobs. Plus,
Stephen Lattimore at Wirt Emerson High School at an assembly where some lucky students are getting college scholarships right on the spot. We'll have that story coming up.
The Mommy's Little Piggy Mashed Potato Eating Contest will take place on Saturday, December 19th. The contest is part of the A Christmas Story Comes Home exhibit. For more information, call 219-989-770. The Lowell Downtown Merchants Association invites you to join them in their Christmas festivities in the historic downtown shopping and dining district of Lowell on Saturday, December 19th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, call 219-696-6487 or visit www.shoplowellindiana.com. The Boys and Girls Clubs, or Porter County's South Haven Club, is calling Northwest Indiana Police and Fire Departments to register for their 4th annual Dodgeball Tournament. There is a $100 registration fee, and you must register by January 25th. Get Lakeshore's full community calendar and events list at lakeshorepublicmedia.org.
if you have children who are preparing to graduate high school, you know the strain of trying to figure out how to pay for college. Well, for one group of students in the Miller section of Gary, a surprise gift will make that burden a little lighter. Stephen Latimer has the story.
Mississippi Valley State University came here to Wirt Emerson High School in Gary to let students know about the great things they have to offer if they decide to come there. Another thing they're doing, they're giving out money for scholarships right on the spot. Mr. O'Keefe Hudson and Mr. Blake Gaines are from Mississippi Valley State University. It's a historically black university in Mississippi. They are here in Gary looking for students, and they come bearing gifts in the form of scholarships that can help pay for some or all of the students' tuition to college.
If you get a scholarship, especially if it's a full-paid scholarship, then that's one less thing you have to worry about. You have to worry about paying the bills back later. So depending on what your major is and what you want to go into, then all you have to be doing is focus on your major. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a nurse, if you want to be an educator, you come in, do your work, because a lot of people are bogged down by the price of school, so they want to have them pay for school, and sometimes they try to drop out or leave for a semester to go work. But these scholarships are going to just give you peace of mind. Students have to meet the academic requirements, and if you're going into band, you have to have an audition. But if you make the cut, you could get a ticket to college on the spot.
I know you've heard about rehearsing until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Your friends go, I know, no. This is an academic environment. We rehearse 2 hours a day. That's it. You cannot be a student in academia and spend 6 hours in the band room. That's impossible.
You don't hear that very often, that schools come and offer scholarships right off the bat. To me, it rewards that academician type of mindset, and it shows that there's value placed on the hard work that you do.
It's amazing. I feel like, I don't know, it's exciting, but also you're just oh my gosh, it might happen today.
Here at Wirt Emerson High School in Gary, they make sure their students are more attractive to college recruiters through their college prep programs.
Teachers are trained to work with the colleges so that as these students take these college courses that are identified in such a way, they not only receive credit in high school, they receive credit in college also. So that way, many of them, for the most part, are testing out of that first year of college if we can get that many done. So it's a great opportunity. Saves the parents a lot of money, and the kids don't realize it yet, but once they get there, they realize what a benefit it was.
The superintendent says college prep helps ensure more successful students.
This is just another evidence of what we do here in the Gary Community School Corporation to make certain that we serve students today, tomorrow, and every day. It is our goal not only to get students into college, but get them through college.
Mr. McGee, over a 4-year period, will be receiving $24,000. Where's Redmond?
Oh, it's nice.
Redmond Jr., where's Redmond?
Oh, it's nice.
Tyler will be receiving $28,000 over a 4-year period.
Mr. Gaines says these scholarships are life changers for students in communities where breaks are hard to come by.
Most of these kids were prepared. The majority of them were really prepared. A little nervous, which is common, but generally they were prepared and ready. How big a deal is it? It's everything, especially when you consider that some people don't have opportunities to actually earn funding with their talents. It's big. It's really big.
Well, I got a scholarship for $24,000. I'm very honored. I'm very happy and excited.
Well, I got $28,000 for 4 years. It was really nice, and I'm really happy. Like, I feel like I accomplished it. Like, my scholarship is final, so I'm kind of happy.
They offered me a $60,000 scholarship for 4 years.
Jump up and down, boy.
It's amazing. It's an amazing experience. I'm just so happy.
Around 75 students took part in this assembly that helps to prepare students to have a better college life and a better life in general. In Miller, Stephen Lattimore, Lakeshore Report.
It's been a tough year for police departments throughout the country. Some communities have lost faith in police because of a number of high-profile incidents. The East Chicago Police Department hopes to change that in their city. The department will be hosting a forum with citizens early next year. Lakeshore Report's Michael Puente sits down with East Chicago Police Chief Mark Becker to learn more.
Well, thank you, Kristen. Well, there's no question that it's been a tough year for police departments, large and small, from Chicago to Ferguson, Missouri. But police departments are trying to improve relations with those they serve. Chief Becker, thank you for joining us here on Lakeshore Report.
Thank you.
Well, you want to create or start a dialogue with your constituents in East Chicago. Why do you want to do that?
Well, I don't want to label it as a start because I think we did that for the past 4 years.
Okay.
We've had several aggressive community outreach programs that we have in place, continued with, and this is yet another continuation of that program. It's just another way to try and reach as many people in our community as we can.
But is there a special emphasis on this upcoming meeting on January 5th? Is there anything that's spurring this?
Yeah, there is. Obviously, as you said, it's been a tough year for law enforcement. We need to address that. We can't just make that go away by pretending it's not there. So we want to bring our community in. We want them to feel free to express their anger, express their concerns, express the questions they have. I'd like to see this then develop maybe into a more focused, regular scheduled type of meeting with those interested in helping us formulate policy, review incidents, and so forth and so on. Whether it goes that way or not is really up to our community.
Now, you also want to create a panel of community members to help with the police department or deal with the police department. What type of individuals are you looking to serve on this panel?
Well, ideally, we would have certainly our youth. We'd love to get some representatives from the high school to be on it. Certainly the faith-based is very important. East Chicago has a strong reputation for having many faith-based throughout. Business people, educators, and then people from all walks of life, whether precinct committee people, people who want to operate neighborhood watch programs or already do, or just the average citizen who wants to have some input in how the police department's run.
What are the biggest challenges right now facing East Chicago? I mean, I'm from East Chicago, grew up there. I know how the city's kind of divided between the harbor and the East Chicago side. What are the challenges your police department is facing right now?
Well, you know, if you look at it from a criminal aspect, obviously our nexus to Chicago and South Chicago always presents us a challenge in dealing with the influx of gangs that will come back and forth, the trafficking of narcotics and such. I think we've hit that head on. We've joined partnerships with the federal government. We've had some very significant federal prosecutions against the Imperial Gangsters, the 2-6 and the Latin Kings. 2 or 3 of those leaders of those are now in prison for life. And we're going to continue with that. I am happy to say that the crime that we report to the FBI annually under the Uniform Crime Reports, as they're known, is the lowest since 1985. So we pat ourselves on the back and we move on because there's still challenges, but we can't move on. We can't continue to make that progress without partnership with the community, and that's what that meeting on the 5th is designed to do.
And I was just going to ask you too, it's important, how successful can your police department be without that community input? Probably not much.
I don't think any police department can survive or be successful without having those discussions, developing some rapport, gaining some type of trust, and then us working together. You mentioned the problems throughout the country. If you look at Ferguson, if you look at Albuquerque, if you look at Seattle, and now Chicago, where the Department of Justice has come in and looked at those departments, whether or not you want to agree or disagree with whether the actions taken by the police were correct or not, one of the underlining seemingly common denominator, if you will, is the lack of effort by the departments to reach out and establish those relationships prior to the event happening. You don't want to know where the fire extinguisher is at after the fire is taken over. You want to have that in place. And that's what this meeting hopefully will help us do.
Well, tell me again, when is the meeting and where and what time?
It's at the East Chicago Police Department on January 5th at 6 p.m. Citizens can come in through the front lobby. We'll have officers out there to greet them. We'll get them into the gymnasium where I imagine hopefully we'll have several hundred people there. It'd be great. But again, January 5th, 6 p.m. Come to the East Chicago Police Department, come right through the front doors into the lobby, and we'll be there to take you on in.
Well, that is all the time we have for. I'd like to thank East Chicago Police Chief Mark Becker for joining us here on Lakeshore Report. Thank you. I'm Michael Puente, and we'll see you next year.
Are Americans living longer, and what are they dying from? In a new study, researchers from the American Cancer Society reviewed changes in the overall U.S. death rate, as well as trends in the 6 leading causes of death. Catherine Dolph has more in this week's JAMA Report.
Americans are living longer.
We are making progress in reducing death rate from all causes and leading cause of death.
Dr. Ahmadine Jamal, along with colleagues from the American Cancer Society, used data from the National Center for Health Statistics to examine trends in the overall death rate in the U.S. from 1969 to 2013. They also looked specifically at the 6 leading causes of death.
Overall death rates have decreased by 42 or 43%.
During this time period, death rates continued to decrease for heart disease, cancer, stroke, injuries, and diabetes, although the decrease has slowed during the last 5 years for heart disease, stroke, and diabetes.
The slowdown could be due to the obesity epidemic that has unfolded over the last 3 decades.
On the other hand, deaths from chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, doubled.
COPD rates in men increased through the early 1990s. Now it is decreasing. But in women, the COPD rates continued to increase since in 1969.
Dr. Jamal says the difference may result from women starting and stopping smoking later than men. The study appears in JAMA, Journal of the American Medical Association.
Cancer has been increasing from 1969 through 1990, when it peaked. And since in 1990, it has been steadily decreasing because of reduction in tobacco use as well as improvements in early detection.
Although death rates are down, there is still room for improvement. 1 in 5 U.S. adults still smoke, and 1 in 3 are obese.
Smoking, obesity, physical inactivity, and bad diet account for about half of the total deaths in the U.S.
Catherine Dolph, the JAMA Report.
Twice a month, Lakeshore Report teams up with the Society of Innovators of Northwest Indiana, an Ivy Tech Community College initiative, to showcase some of the most forward-thinking projects and people the region has to offer. Locally, a new group wants to change the way small business looks at technology and social media, and they're hoping to create some big-time social media buzz right here in Northwest Indiana.
SMDG stands for Social Media Development Group, and we are social media marketers. We help businesses market their products and services online using social media channels such as Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and so on.
We offer 3 core services: website design, social media marketing, and some IT services, all for for-profit and nonprofit businesses.
Social media is important because it is the way we communicate. Gone are the days where we would write something down and put it in a book. Now there are ebooks. Now there's more than just email. There's instantaneous communication, bi-directional communication, and that's where communication is going. It is the way that parents continue to keep conversations going with their children. LinkedIn is the new way for businesses to advertise for their next employee. It is the way we communicate, and it is not going anywhere.
You know, whenever you post something online, it doesn't go away. And so even while you're asleep 24/7, your website, your social media marketing activities are working to promote your business. And, you know, gone are the days where people go just to the phone book to find your business or to find a solution to their need. They go to the internet.
For us, being in Northwest Indiana in an industry such as our own, we are excited to be here. SMDG is on the forefront of social media marketing. Having to work where we live is a wonderful thing, and SMDG is thriving here.
You know, when you think of technology, you think of Chicago, you think of California, you think of New York. But we believe that through social media and our presence here, SMDG has the ability to bring a whole new audience of businesses to this region.
For more information on SMDG, you can check them out at www.smdgnwi.com or the Society of Innovators website at www.nwisoi.org. And for more information on this or any of our stories, you can go to lakeshorepublicmedia.org. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you next time on Lakeshore Report.
Hi, joining me for this edition of Eye on the Arts is Mark Baer from Theater Northwest at Indiana University Northwest. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you so much for having me.
I can't believe you've never been on Eye on the Arts before.
It's my first time.
Oh, yay! Well, don't be nervous. It goes quickly. It's like being at the dentist, only a lot shorter. Yeah. So, okay, so you teach acting.
That's right, at Indiana University Northwest.
Yes.
I'm going into my 5th year there now.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to believe, so
yeah.
I'm starting to get local.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about Theater Northwest and that it exists, for one thing.
Right.
Well, probably the first play I ever saw in my life was at Tamarack Hall.
Right.
The lady who lived across the street, I always launched into this history, played Agnes Gooch in a production of the Gary Player's production of Auntie Mame. And it was wonderful, and you know, it was transformative for me. I just loved seeing it, and so but Tamarack Hall was raised after the big flood.
Yes, flooded about 7 years ago now,
Mm-hmm.
right? And has been gone, and I know that that's left a big hole in the Gary community, not having that performance space and that kind of gathering space for the community.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're very excited that that space is going to come back with the new Arts and Sciences building on the IU Northwest campus. That if you've driven down Broadway recently, you've seen that building springing up.
Mm-hmm.
It's so exciting. And that building will have a 500-seat thrust theater, a 100-seat black box classroom and performance space, and all the supporting theater facilities. So we're very excited to have that space back.
And it's set to open in spring of 2017?
That's right. That's right. So we're even though we're seeing it, it's still a little bit in the distance.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Theater Northwest has been producing shows in a temporary space. We're at 3660 Grant Street, so we're just about 2 blocks away from the campus. The fine arts that were also in Tamarack and the performing arts are housed there now, near the Village Shopping Center.
Village Shopping Center, and it was Tittle's grocery store, I believe.
That's right. That's right.
When I was a kid.
Fine arts is in the grocery store, and we're in the Hollywood Video. And you would not believe how both of those buildings have been renovated. So we've got a Chicago storefront style, 100-seat theater there, where we've been producing. I've done Little Shop of Horrors and Hedda Gobbler and The Miser, and this spring we're doing a new play called Failure: A Love Story. So a wide variety of different things we've done in that space, and it's been a lovely temporary space.
So the productions at IUN, at Theater Northwest, those are open to the public, as both for viewing as well as participation?
That's exactly right. So we have about 20 to 30 theater majors and minors that are involved in all aspects of production, acting and behind the scenes and lighting and sound, et cetera. But our auditions are open to the community, and we love volunteer actors, volunteer set crew that can kind of just augment our group. We're always kind of looking to create a good mix of experiences for the folks, right?
Okay. Well,
That's right.
Mark, you're going to have to come back now as the new building approaches and tell us more.
I'm so excited.
Thanks for being here. And thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week with another edition of Eye on the Arts.